something to show you. 1 second, B-Man.
Do not let that Expedition game win Game of the Year. Do not let it. Absolutely do not. We all have to band together.
Yeah, all right. I'll see you guys there.
What? Well, looks like the Golden Joysticks Award is like, what, less than 2 weeks away, and now, and also the real game of, I don't want to call it Game of the Year, award show is about a month away. But right now, many people are hating the fact that Expedition 33 is getting nominated. For the gaming Let's Play that I'm doing, it will make sense soon, okay? Rest assured.
What is up, Space Pirates?
What's up?
This is your Admiral, the charmingly churlish Dr. Disaster, and Ark Raiders has been an extremely impressive release. They consistently keep hitting 300,000 concurrent players at its daily peak on Steam, despite being a week old. And at its max, the game hit a whopping 350,000 concurrent players. People really seem to like this game.
I know, I am pretty amazing.
For cripe's sake, the game is estimated to have already sold 2 million copies, and I haven't purchased it yet myself, but the gameplay for Ark seems pretty alright.
But one
so
day
I
I
don't
will.
want anyone to get the impression that I have anything against Ark Raiders, but there has been talk about this game getting a late push as the Game of the Year, and based on what I've seen of the game thus far, all I can say is...
I don't think so.
Now, as far as I'm concerned, there is really only one choice for a Game of the Year award, and any other choice is just delusional. And speaking of delusional, no, Ghost of Yotei fans, the logical choice for Game of the Year is definitely not you.
Nope.
And I don't want to see all of you insane Assassin's Creed Shadow shills celebrating either, because your asses are about as far from the conversation as it gets. Schedule 1 belongs in the conversation for Game of the Year before Shadows.
Hey, what's going on?
No, in my view, if these gaming award shows want even a shred of legitimacy, then the Game of the Year simply must be Claire Obscure Expedition 33. The story was incredible, the soundtrack was incredible, the acting was incredible, and the gameplay was also incredible, as they added some nifty wrinkles to turn-based combat. There are a few names that I would at least be willing to listen to for potentially being Game of the Year, most notably Hollow Knight Silksong and Donkey Kong Bonanza. But as I said, there is a push from folks to try to get Ark Raiders dragged across the finish line. Most notably, it is coming here from Shroud, who really doesn't want Claire Obscure to win.
Do not let that Expedition game win Game of the Year.
And you're gonna fail.
Before I continue my discussion, I'm gonna have to cut this a bit because I already seen this previous game.
You know it's a trap.
Of course it is.
Now, again, I don't know, I never heard of Shroud, but sometimes there are times these creators who try to dunk on, say, Expedition 33. Why do I get the feeling that Shroud doesn't play Expedition 33? Look, I played Expedition 33, okay? About, like, what, 9 hours in. I haven't finished it yet. I mean, then again... Okay, now I'm certain some of you are wondering, why am I using Batman Arkham Asylum? Because the topic of today, well, if it's about Expedition 33. Now here's the thing. Understand one thing. The topic of today is called Game of the Year, okay? Batman Arkham Asylum here. This game won Game of the Year. No, I'm not joking. It did. Look, for the record, I use this method because, frankly, my first video is about gaming Let's Play, so I want to revive it, but at the same time keep my core value on saying reaction videos or reading articles, okay? It is gonna take some time, so...
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've had a lot of people tell me that they have been unwillingly unsubscribed to the channel, so make sure you look into that. And also, don't forget to follow me over on X, where my handle is Dr. Disaster1. And if you want to help keep the lights on, consider becoming a member of the channel for as little as $5 per month. But alright, I really felt like responding to this idea that Claire Obscure should not be allowed to win in favor of Arc Raiders. Like I said, I don't have anything against Arc Raiders.
That's right.
And by the way, I don't have anything against Shroud either. He's entitled to his opinion, and I have mine. It's fine. And Arc Raiders looks good. But my short list for viable contenders for Game of the Year are Claire Obscure, of course, Hollow Knight, and Donkey Kong. I've played all three of them, and they were all great in their own way, but Claire Obscure is heads and shoulders above the competition.
That's right.
It's amazing how much epic they were able to pack into a small AA game made by people who had never made their own game before. And then, when you consider that Claire was released for only $50, when games of that magnitude of awesome usually cost 70 or even 80 these days,
or $100.
it is just mind-blowing.
Maybe one day.
If this were made by the likes of Ubisoft or EA or something like that, they would have spent hundreds of millions of dollars putting Claire Obscure together, and it would have come out as a much shoddier product at the end, because the artistry and vision would have been lost among all the hundreds of developers that would have been working on it. If nothing else, the success of Claire Obscure really highlights the effectiveness of a sleek, lean studio with a unified vision. But I'll get off their nuts for a second here. If you've played the game, then you probably don't need any convincing. But let's look at the clip from Shroud that has been going around where he seems to think that this game should not be allowed to win.
Again, like I said, this gaming Let's Play, it will make sense, okay? Because don't forget, the topic of this video is about Game of the Year, okay? Now I know I should have used Expedition 33 for the gameplay, but remember, this is about the topic, okay? The topic is Game of the Year. So this game, Batman Arkham Asylum, won Game of the Year. So bear with me. Although I haven't heard about Shroud though.
Everywhere that madman goes, death is sure to follow.
I've never
All
exactly
patients
watched
should
any.
take their medication at the prescribed times each and every day. Prescribed doses.
Warning. Security breach in level B3.
Yeah, I never exactly watched
Warning.
Shroud's video or anything.
Security breach in
What about
level
you guys?
B2.
Have you watched him?
Warning. Security breach in level B3. Warning. Security breach in level B1.
Allez.
Warning. Security breach in level B6. Warning. Security breach in level B4.
Whoa.
Batman, over here.
Me.
Warning. Security breach in.
Okay.
Dude, we got to make sure that this game wins Game of the Year, by the way. Do not let that Expedition game win Game of the Year. Do not let it. Absolutely do not. We all have to band together to make this game win. Us multiplayer gamers are the minority, okay? We are the minority being multiplayer gamers, but I believe we can win. I believe.
Now, to be honest, that is an interesting point, but I don't know that multiplayer gamers are the minority. I've never seen any study that suggests that it either is
I never heard of
or
it.
is not the case, but I do know that there are a ton of multiplayer gamers out there who buy up the Call of Duty games every year.
Okay, that is
and
true.
There's a shitload of them who, to this day,
That's
keep
true.
playing their tried and true old favorites like Counter-Strike. And in my view, that seems to be the disadvantage that multiplayer gamers have in trying to rally around one game and get it to become the game of the year. The problem is that a lot of these guys, when they find a game that they like, they keep playing it over and over for a long-ass time to the exclusion of anything new, because that is what all their friends are doing. It is really hard to get people like that to rally around one game. So, I don't know that they actually are the minority, but they are certainly at a disadvantage. Though, all that aside, Claire Obscure, in my view, still beats the pants off of Arc Raiders, but let's watch some more of what Shroud said.
Shroud, listen, I think you should know one thing. You know, before I continue this gaming Let's Play, a game made for everyone means a game made for no one. Remember that. If you make a game for everyone, means you make a game for no one.
What happened?
Joker happened. You're lucky to be alive.
He must have gone this way. Door's jammed. I'll try and get it open.
We need help in pacification. I repeat, we need backup in pacification. Can anyone hear this?
Can you hear me? I'm with
Me?
Batman. Hello?
Where are they?
Back down there. Do you need help?
No. I work better alone.
Zaz is free! Oh god, he's got Mike!
Shroud, take a look at this one.
Franklin, can you hear me? If you can, help's on the way.
Okay, let me just... Before that, I have to ask all of you. Is it true what Shroud said, that multiplayer games were banned together? I mean, I never know a study that multiplayer games want it. I mean, I do know they want the whole Call of Duty thing, but that's a different thing, okay? But look, here's the thing. This is what happens when you cater to everyone, okay? When you make a game for everyone, means you make a game for no one. Seriously, Shroud, how is it so hard to... Why is it so hard for you to even comprehend, Shroud?
Oracle, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What's up?
Joker's escaped custody. He's running free in Arkham.
Do you need anything? Is my dad still there?
Commissioner Gordon is safe. Joker's not far ahead. I'll stay in contact.
Now,
Just need to tell everybody. I've never voted for anything ever, but I think I'm going to vote this year for this game.
why is he silent?
You didn't vote for Elden Ring? No, I've never voted ever. I mean, not like votes actually matter, dude. All fucking awards are rigged anyway. Who cares? When have you ever seen an award that's actually legit?
And that is actually a pretty fair point. As we have talked about on this channel before, these gaming award shows always come down to game journalists getting together and deciding a winner. Last year, Astrobot won the Game of the Year at the Game Awards, but Black Myth Wukong should have won it hands down, and I will pretty much guarantee that it would have if this had been a purely democratized process. But the way that it works is that 90% of the scores that each game gets at these award shows, and I'm not exaggerating here, mind you, this is the literal breakdown that they used to describe their own voting process at the Game Awards last year, but 90% of the score that each game gets comes from a small circle of game journalists from outlets that partner with the Game Awards, and those outlets would never have voted for Black Myth Wukong since the developers aren't any of their buddies in Western AAA gaming.
That's
and
right.
They also, that is to say, Game Science, the makers of Black Myth Wukong, they also went out of their way to shit all over Sweet Baby Inc. during the Sweet Baby controversy last year, saying that Sweet Baby had approached them with an offer to consult on their game for $7 million,
and that's another reason.
which developer Game Science turned down. But anyhow, the nominees for the Golden Joystick are available to vote on now, and if you look at that list there, Arc Raiders is not an option on there because it was released too late in the year.
It was brand new.
I do think, though, that the game is justifiable as one of the 6 nominees for Game of the Year at the Game Awards. If I had to guess what the 6 nominees would be for this year, it would be Claire Obscure, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hollow Knight Silksong, Ark Raiders, Death Stranding 2, and I wouldn't be surprised if Ghost of Yote was nominated as well. In fact, that game, along with Death Stranding 2, are the ones I fear the most as being astroturfed into the top spot by the game journalists. In particular, I could see the game journalists putting Ghost of Yote into the winning spot just because they want to own the chuds and say, look, the game that you really hate was actually really popular because look here, it won the Game of the Year awards.
At least I can give credit to Shroud that he knows that the Game Awards is rigged.
Think about what you're doing, Zaz!
See, back then, like Dr. Disaster said, I'm so sorry, I can't even say the word. Like Dr. Disaster said, 90% of votes come from critics such as IGN, Polygon. And this is why in my second channel I say, and I do mean I say this, video game industry, movie industry, TV show industry, and also video game journalists, along with the Game Award industry, needs a reset, okay? Look,
Let him go!
when this...
You'll only end up in more trouble if you continue!
1 second.
Thank God. It's Zaz. He's got Mike. He's strapped in the chair. Zaz has totally lost it.
Wait here.
You can't. He'll kill Mike if he sees anyone trying to get close.
He won't see me.
Okay, a little bit of reminder, folks. This game, ask yourself this, why did Batman Arkham Asylum won Game of the Year? Because back then, back when this was still prevalent, Game Awards was still about gamers, okay? Which I'm 100% certain people vote for it. So, again, for Ark Raiders is a bit way too early. I think it's released, it's been what, 2 to 3 days? Sorry, making sure there's no interruption. How long has it been since Ark Raider released? And here's another thing. Nobody reviewed Ark Raiders. Shroud, did you know that? Nobody reviewed Ark Raiders. Yet it's still pulling in numbers.
Stop! He's done nothing to you! Let him go!
This is disgraceful. How did a patient like Victor get free?
We'll worry about that later, Doctor.
He wants to kill the guard, you know. He needs to kill the guard.
Listen, before I do this... Okay.
Zaz has got my buddy. He's gonna fry him. Do something, please.
Keep him occupied. I need to get behind him.
Okay.
I've got to get close enough to Zaz to strike.
He'll see me coming on the ground, so I'll stay up high.
How do you... Oh yeah.
These old gargoyles should be able to support my weight if I grab them up.
Okay. Now, before I let you end this, because after this is going to be a cutscene, at least even though I disagree with Shroud said you cannot let Expedition 33 win, but understand one thing. Ark Raiders is still new, okay? I don't think you're allowed to vote on a new game. I don't know about Astrobot. I really need to check these things. When did Astrobot release? Because usually if you release a game before the Game Awards, then the chance of that game being nominated is pretty slim. Look, I think from now on, regardless of what happened, to all developers, regardless whether you get rewards or not, gamers will always support your game. And this is something that most developers fail to understand.
I see anyone coming
They're too
close,
greedy.
and he dies.
And also, Game Awards, I think many people already checked out of the Game Awards because of the vote comes from the critics. 10% come from gamers. Not only that, the only time people go to the Game Awards is for one single thing. Trailers. That's about it. So, enjoy the long cutscene, folks.
Zaz is down, but not for long.
Someone put this animal back in his cell.
Can you hear me? Is this thing on? Oh, hiya, B-Man. Harley Quinn here. How do you like my new uniform? Pretty hot, huh? Ow, I got something to show you. 1 second, B-Man. I'm now subbing for the old man. Old Sharpie been happier. In case you ain't figured it out, today is the Joker's big homecoming, and you're the guest of honor.
You have one chance to surrender, Quinn.
Tempting, perhaps, but no dice. Now the inmates are running the asylum. Well, technically the Joker's goons shipped in from Blackgate, but you get